Hey guys, meteorologist Kody Wilson, Denver Front Range Weather. I'm sitting here with Tom Stoffel, a good friend of mine. He's also my premier sponsor with Colorado Native Roofing and Exteriors, based out of Pinmouth, but they cover all of northern Colorado. Appreciate you sitting down with me in a few minutes to talk about
Thanks for
hail.
having us. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, obviously, an awful week for a lot of you in Greeley and Commerce City, the Denver Metro, just to name a couple of places. And there's a lot of you that are stuck in purgatory wondering, what do we do next? So I wanted to sit down with Tom, who is an expert in the industry, who understands exactly what you guys are going through right now and wants to streamline this and make it as easy to understand as possible. My house just got obliterated by hail. What happens next? What do I do?
Great question. First off, make sure your vehicles are inside. First
Yeah,
thing,
no
get
doubt.
vehicles and pets and animals and kids inside. You don't want any of that out in the weather. Parts of the house we can fix, but those other things are tough. So
Yeah.
make sure that's all done first. First thing you're going to find out is you're going to get absolutely inundated with a lot of different things: door knockers, mailers, Facebook ads, phone calls. Everyone wants to get on your roof to tell you what it looks like. So the first thing I'd say is just be wary of that. It's going to happen. We don't do anything like that because it's a bad customer experience. But, obviously take a self-assessment of everything that you see around the property that has been damaged or lost. And you're going to be looking for things like, personal property items, chairs, grills, things like that around your house that are going to be damaged. Take a note of those, take pictures of them. You're going to need to give that to insurance. You get a lot of people coming to your house, knocking on your door, telling you that they're going to get on your roof. Buyer beware. If you want to let them do that, fine. Most of what they're going to be doing is trying to get you to sign a contract right there on the spot, oftentimes without even giving you an estimate. We've heard recently that they're trying to get contracts signed without estimates. You don't know much about the company. You just met them 10 minutes ago.
Right.
So it's all a race to be the first one there and get your business right away. My suggestion is to do your research. Never, ever, ever sign a contract, right on the spot. Make sure you do research, get multiple bids, get several people out there. Obviously, contact your insurance company. You're going to need to file a claim. Do not let the contractors do that for you. That's something you have to do. But there's going to be a whirlwind of a lot of stuff happening real fast, and you want to make sure you're weeding through all the.
So you brought up a really good point about not signing contracts with people you just met 10 minutes ago. I kind of want to elaborate on that a little bit. There's an overarching theme there, and what not. So we get into paralysis by overanalysis. We're really emotional. Real estate is one of the best investments we'll ever make. So there's a lot of emotion that's involved in something you own that you have a lot of pride in that gets damaged, right? And
Yep.
so you want to make sure you make the right decisions. But outside of not signing contracts right away, what are some tips and advice you would give to homeowners on what absolutely not to do, assuming you've just got hit with hail and there's a lot of decisions to make? What's some things you shouldn't be doing?
You should never, ever, ever sign a contract with the first person you meet,
Yeah.
because there's going to be a lot of contractors out there that are high pressure sales, and they're going to be trying to get you to sign contracts right away, and they're going to be trying to get yard signs in your yards right away. That's up to you. Sometimes that can help deter other people from knocking on your door, but most of those companies get paid $50 or something like that per yard sign to get in your yard, and it makes them look like they've taken over a neighborhood. Never sign a contract right away. Do your research. Have multiple people come out and take a look at that.
Are there mistakes that you're seeing a lot of roofing companies make that homeowners should be aware of, whether it's cutting corners or they're using certain building supplies that are cheap and not good quality, or just how they canvas a certain neighborhood? Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with canvassing in a neighborhood, but are there certain things you look for that raise red flags that people should be aware of when it comes to dealing with certain roofing companies or adjusters, and so on and so forth?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously, again, nothing against canvassers. There's actually some areas that it's illegal to do that in. We personally do not do that. We feel that it's a bad customer experience. We are a very customer experience driven brand and company. And we feel that's a bad customer experience. Nobody really wants to be sold on their house. getting past that, once you're sitting down with contractors and the insurance company, it's very important to know that insurance companies are a for-profit business. Their job is to take more money in than they give out. So they want to get out of a claim as cost effective as they possibly can. So typically how it's going to work out is the homeowner is going to file a claim, an adjuster is going to come out to the property, and they're going to do an assessment on the damages lost during the storm. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a scope of work for what they're going to pay to get all that done. Now, 99% of the time, that first amount of money that they're going to give you is way off. And it's them obviously saying, go find 3 contractors to give a price and go find the best price to get the job done. That is not the best way to do that. When insurance is going to give you a certain amount of money, let's just call it a job, they're going to give you $10,000. Well, let's say the fair market value to do the job correctly, which is the key there, is $20,000.
Yeah.
They're going to try to get you to find a contractor that will do it for $10,000 in this example. In this particular case, you, the homeowner, are losing. The contractor is still going to make profit. They're going to maximize their profit as much as they can with the money that they were given by insurance. Well, to do that, they're going to cut a lot of corners in order to make that profit. They're not going to do the job correct. Conversely, a company like ours, we are going to do all that legwork for you, working with the insurance company, and that's a process called supplementing. We actually do all that in-house with our in-house team, and what that entails is we actually use the same software that those insurance companies use to write the scope of work. It's actually software that was developed by the insurance companies. The advantageous thing about the software is no matter who the contractor is or who the insurance company is, the cost to do the job should be identical because the software has all the pricing per line item, per location built into it. So we are going to go build a scope of work that's going to be 2 local building code, 2 manufacturer specifications, and we'll never cut corners. The scope of work will be everything that needs to be done to do the job correctly. Right.
Do you run into a lot of situations where homeowners have insurance that will not cover their damage?
Every once in a while, we will run into that. The storms we've seen recently, they're all pretty cut and dry, black and white. There are instances where insurance companies will try not to cover things. And again, that's where making sure you have a good contractor that's there on site for when the adjuster comes out. We highly recommend you have a good contractor there for that. Obviously, we do that free of charge. We would like to be there to make sure that the adjuster is seeing all the same damage that we are seeing on the property.
So is that the very first phone call you would make as a homeowner is to a roofing company and not necessarily an insurance company?
You're going to want to get the contractor out there first to assess the damage, get a list of everything that is damaged. And then again, we highly recommend the contractors there for the adjuster appointment as well.
Awesome. So I guess the last thing I'll ask you here, Tom, and I appreciate your time, is if you had to make a quick pitch to family, friend, anybody in northern Colorado that's moved here and is maybe experiencing spring and summer in Colorado for the very first time, why should they choose Colorado Native Roofing and Exteriors?
Well, that's a great question. I guess the most important part is that we are a customer service-based business. We put extremely high priority on customer experience, and we do that with something we call our Built Right guarantee. In a nutshell, that means everything is going to be built to or above local building code, to or above manufacturer specifications, to our standards. I'll never cut corners. It's going to be built the same way it would be on my house or my parents' house. And we're going to do all the legwork to make sure that's done correctly with your insurance. Part of that Built Right guarantee is going to be our insurance assurance, which means that because we're building everything to or above local building code, if for some reason insurance isn't going to pay for something to get done that has to be done correctly, then we are going to do it anyway, and we're not going to charge the homeowner for that. The homeowner is going to pay their deductible, and that's it.
Well, let's keep it that way, okay?
Yeah.
So you're certainly not the cheapest, but it's going to be done right the first time.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been the cheapest. It's because we never cut corners on quality of material, quantity of material, or scope of work. It's going to be done right. And when you do it right, it does cost more. Our job is to make sure insurance is paying for that all to be done correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that too, because I don't put my name and reputation on companies and people that are slimy and cut corners. And so if the Denver and Front Range Weather name is associated with somebody, you know, I did my due diligence. So you guys do great work. I've heard so many good things about the work that Tom and Courtney and their team does. And that's why you see their trailers and their trucks all over the place. I promise you they don't sleep either. I don't. I haven't slept at all this week, and that's because they're out serving the community and making sure that you guys give the people the customer service experience they deserve. So congratulations to your guys' success.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing but the best this spring and summer, and God forbid you get hail damage, but if you do, you can find a list of my preferred sponsors on my website, codytheweatherguy.com. And remember, this is Tom Stoffel with Colorado Native Roofing and Exteriors.
Thank you. And thanks for being the most accurate and funniest guy out there. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you.